Hi, and welcome to this short video from SYLO Beyond HR, which looks at how to carry out a very quick check on whether or not your organisation is in good shape with your HR basics and whether or not you're exposed to risk and what you might be able to do about it. So at SYLO, what we have done is we have developed something called an HR Diagnostic Tool. And this enables you very, very quickly to take you 5 or 10 minutes just to carry out a quick questionnaire on 4 key areas of essential HR functions. That's on contracts of employment, policies and procedures, employee wellbeing, and also what your responsibilities are as an employer. So if we go through it, it will ask you some basic questions about your organisation. I'm just going to fill in a few fields here, maybe how long you've been going, number of employees and so on. And also where your staff work. Some nowadays are offering a mixture of home and office work for their employees. And whether or not you have somebody in your team who does HR or you have somebody that's qualified. And your reason for doing this, you might just want to make sure you have all your HR foundations sorted out. So if we look at that first category, which was contracts of employment for employees, it's just saying, do you have them? And if you don't, then just click no. If you do, that's fine. And also, what sort of employees do you have? Do you have full-time employees, or do you have some freelance or a mixture? And the types of contracts that you might have in place for those. And do you actually know when you should issue an amendment of contract to an employee? When do you offer contracts to new hires, and do you have copies of those? Okay, so they're fairly basic questions, but actually it gives you a really good overview of where you are. Company policies and procedures. Do you have a handbook? If you do, important to keep it up to date. But let's say that we haven't really put anything new in there since 2019. And what sort of policies do you have? Do you have a data protection? Really important to have. Hybrid working, if you're moving towards that model. Do you have a good disciplinary policy in place? And can your employees access those, and how? And for all that sensitive employee data, are you keeping it in a safe place? Do you understand about anti-discrimination laws and what you need to be doing, both at the recruitment stage and once you've employed people? And if you're employing people from outside of the UK, for example, do you understand what legislation and what checks you need to carry out? So we'll move on to employee wellbeing. Really important to have a supported workforce and to consider the well-being of your staff at all times. So a lot of organisations offer informal support. And risk assessment. Have you carried out a risk assessment for both your business and your employees? So again, if you're moving towards a hybrid working model, important to have completed assessments for both office and home locations if that applies to you. And then some really key employer responsibilities. So in relation to payroll, you might not have payroll set up, or you might do it in-house. Do you have auto enrolment pension set up for your employees? And are there certain things that really are annoying, vexing, not too sure how to tackle them? Take a couple there. And how do you decide what to pay your employees? Do you use salary benchmarking? And any other information that you think would be useful? And we'll move on to the last section. Now, the last section, these questions don't form any part of the diagnostic report that you're going to get, but we do think they're worth reflecting on. So is your organisation inclusive? Do you help to make sure that your employees have a good work-life balance? And lastly, yes, I want to be added to our mailing list. So as soon as you've completed it, you see how quick and how easy it is to complete. What you'll receive by email is your own diagnostic report, which is based on the answers that you have given and the level of exposure or level of risk associated with each of those key areas. So this is just an example report. Obviously, there will be differences here. If you're all set, you're in really good shape, it will show as green against contracts of employment. But if you're high risk, it will go into the red zone. A lot of people sit somewhere in the middle, in the medium. So you get a quick overview there at a glance of what your results are. And then for each section, what we would do is just show you what the risks are that you need to be aware of. Particularly if you're in the red zone, just what you need to be aware of. And we do make some recommendations about action that you should take. And we also offer options where we can potentially provide you with support. Now, you might be set up with support and you might be happy with that. But if you're not, or you feel that you would like some support, but on a as and when you want it, you might want to look at some outsourced HR support. And we've developed the retainer service so that you can choose the level of support that you want as and when you need it. And it ranges from sort of support on getting some documentation right, but also then going up to if you're scaling up your business, we want to work alongside you to make sure that you have HR support and general people development in place as your business grows and as you develop. There are different options, and we'd be really, really happy to talk to you about it. So if you are interested, then please do contact us at retainers@sylobeyondhr.com, and we'd be really happy to talk to you. Thanks very much.